this guys.
The overall consensus of Jacob Perry in his young driving career is a versatile racer that can win sporadically without the help of a big army behind him. With a larger-than-life personality and the attitude to adapt when things go astray, he has risen up through the ranks in hopes of chasing a dream career in racing. And as he enters the 2026 racing season, we can say he's still in the first act of his racing career. Like many of the other great racers, Jacob was born into racing. The son of former tour-type modified and late-model competitor Dennis Perry, Jacob followed the family path into racing at just 4 years old. While winning in quarter midgets, he moved into bandoleros where his success was magnified. After winning 4 state championships, he quickly began diversifying his racing portfolio with fenders and open-wheel race cars. The third-generation star decided it was time to move to full-size cars and made quite the first impression in the 2016 season. Before the season started, his family decided to purchase Timmy Jordan's mini stock from 2003. And while it was nice for his family to purchase it, Jacob wasn't spoiled. His father told him, if he wanted to drive it, he had to completely take care of it. Jacob took every bolt off that car and put it all back together. For the first 6 months, I never touched the car. It was up to him to get it done, and he did. While racing mini stocks at both the Waterford Speed Bowl and the Thompson Speedway, he was able to win a total of 5 races in just his rookie season. After winning 2 weeks in a row, he said, being able to be up front like this is amazing. It was intimidating in the beginning of the season, but it is really an honor to be able to race these guys every week and have them respect me so much. While late models were the main goal for Jacob, he was not afraid to take the fenders off and made his debut in Pro 4 light modifieds. After having to come from last in his first ever feature, the young hotshoe made his way to the front and won the event. Needless to say, running for the title in 2017 seemed imminent, and he teamed up with car owner Mark Charette, and the two smacked the competition. While the big Pro 4 modified series has been primarily dominated by one family,
the Meservies,
Jacob won 6 of the 9 races on the light modified schedule en route to his first championship in a full-size race car. While the local modified world, including myself, was focused on what Ryan Preece, Matt Hirschman, and Doug Coby were achieving in tour-type modifieds, a young 16-year-old was building a foundation in racing and was itching for more. When the Pro 4 light modified season ended, he was crowned the 2017 CT champion and stated, I cannot thank Mark Charette enough. He gave me an opportunity by taking a blind guess on a kid he didn't even know. And I can't thank him and my family enough for helping me with the car setup. After a championship in his rookie year, it looked as if a jump to the regular Pro 4 modified division was on tap for 2018. However, after their championship season, his team would shut down and the lights went out. A season where he didn't have to finance the whole operation on his own resulted in major success, but now he was searching for rides. But this change resulted in his racing journey only progressing, and now he turned towards bigger and better things for 2018. While he made a few starts last year in the SK Modifieds at Waterford, his family went ahead and started racing tour-type modifieds on the Modified Racing Series. He was able to get a lot of experience racing against drivers like Keith Rocco, Woody Pitcat, and others, and he managed to finish in the top 10 6 times at all types of racetracks. When the season concluded, he was crowned the Rookie of the Year and finished 7th in the overall standings in his self-funded operation. While he was racing the modifieds, he made his debut on the Pro Truck Series and was able to sign with the Jincic family. Joining another team proved successful, and he won the pole and dominated at Thompson until the engine let go. However, this setback didn't slow him down, and in the return in 2019, Jacob made the pass for the win on the final lap to win his first ever truck race. After cheering in the winner's circle, he said, after last year, I had some serious unfinished business. We had a straightaway lead and lost the engine. I can't thank the Jincic family enough, and I can't wait to win more. The rest of the season was a major success, as he won 4 races in the trucks, and became the record holder of the highest win percentage in a single season for the Pro Truck Series. And the fun didn't stop there. He made his debut in the late models at the Stafford Speedway for one of the track's most successful drivers, Tom Fern. Perry was able to start 5th in his first race and made even more news afterwards. He raced on the Tri-Track Series and grabbed a podium at one of his best racetracks in Monadnock against some of the best competition in modified racing. Then he made his first ever NASCAR Modified Tour start at Loudon. He started his dirt racing career in a dirt modified at the Lebanon Valley Speedway, but what he was really focusing on was the pro late models. He was in his family's car and having a decent start to the season, but again funding issues derailed his opportunities to continue, and his team decided to stop racing in the series. But help came heading into 2020. The Modified Racing Series founder Jack Bateman was looking for a new driver in his number 47 team, and Jacob would get the opportunity to race full-time in a well-prepared ride. Perry said, "We were out at the Performance Racing Industry Trade Show just talking to Jack, and on Monday we ended up getting a call asking if we wanted to run the full season. And we were just super excited for it." But as was a growing trend, something would come up to delay his progress, and the COVID-19 pandemic slowed that until August. But Jacob was proactive and decided to take a big bet and sell his own personal vehicle to purchase a dirt modified to race in New York. On top of that, he joined Jason Derwin and drove his number 20 SK modified at the Speed Bowl. In their first race together, they were victorious, but sadly Jason passed away shortly after. At the end of the season, Jacob was able to team up with Reedy Racing to race a super late model at Hickory Motor Speedway. And in his super debut, all the way down in late model country, he finished 3rd. After his trip down south, he reflected on what it is like to race super late models and how the deal came to be. "It's really cool to be able to come down here and run with some of the top late model guys and be able to race competitively door to door with them. We were looking for modified rides and then looked at super late models, and it all came together. That it's just a totally different world, and we're having a lot of fun with it. And we plan to race 4 more races with Reedy Racing next year." While finally able to bring some momentum into the next racing season, 2021 was looking to be a breakout year for Jacob, and it was. It didn't take him long to find success in the MRS series. At the season opener at Monadnock, he started in the top 10 and patiently moved himself up to the front. He made the move for the win just past halfway, and had to hold off 2 attempts from Ronnie Williams and Tommy Barrett to win his first ever tour-type modified race. After jumping on the roof in celebration, Perry said, "Our day started off with no oil pressure, and we grinded all night. I've won a lot of big races, and this is the most special one. Monadnock is my favorite racetrack, and with the first win off my back, the rest should come a bit easier." It looked like the Perry-Bateman alliance was doing exactly what many people thought it would, by bringing home trophies, and it didn't stop there. Up at the Riverside Speedway in New Hampshire, Perry won again, and this time they had no mechanical issues to worry about. They were fast straight out of the trailer, and Perry said, "I immediately fell in love with the place. I was able to win the heat and get a good starting spot for the feature and never look back." He would follow up the win by nearly winning at Oxford, but having to settle for 2nd. But at the Lee USA Speedway, Perry would get back to victory lane. Another trophy went into the case for Jacob, and he had to hold off Brian Roby and super late model ace Derek Griffith for it. Perry said, "This is a dream come true. I had this race circled on the schedule. Unfortunately, Brian finished 2nd, so we didn't get the points. We are just trophy hunting now." But when the checkered flag flew on the 2021 MRS season, Perry would finish 2nd and come up 38 points short of the title. He had the most victories, but a couple poor finishes cost him the title. But he still had more racing to do before setting his eyes on the 2022 championship chase. Jacob was able to make a one-off start for one of the best NEMA midget racers ever, Randy Cabral. He competed in the NEMA Light event at the Speed Bowl finale. While he had equipment issues from the start of the day, which forced him to miss practice, he came from starting last in the feature to finish 9th and said it was the most fun he has had in any type of race car. When Jacob went back down south to race the super late models, he made his debut with the Cars Tour. He had to compete against drivers like Carson Quaffle and Ryan Moore, and he finished a solid 10th in the fall brawl. But in the North-South shootout, he had a shot to win. But he had an alternator issue that ripped away what could have been a podium finish. After having a very successful racing season, building his portfolio while gaining experience in a whole bunch of race cars, he started the winter of 2022 by being called up to race in the granddaddy of them all in Dirt Midget Racing, the Chili Bowl. Jeff Johnson Motorsports was the team, and after having to deal with a slow start, he managed to get the most out of the moment there. Perry said, "I was originally supposed to go out as a crew member for the team, but the driver they had originally signed ended up backing out of the deal. They needed a driver, and they asked me if I was interested." After racing in the Chili Bowl and the start of the 2022 season, he was also racing in the Dirt Sportman division at the Lebanon Valley Speedway in New York. While Dirt was still a bit new to him, he was a quick study and won in only his 12th career start. With the win, he said, "It's huge to be able to finally get that first dirt win out of the way. I've only ever been to 3 dirt tracks, so it's pretty cool to finally put our name in the record books at the Valley of Speed. It's a really cool opportunity they're putting on with the Limited Sportsman division, and I'm really glad to be a part of it." While he had fun experimenting with other forms of racing, he had his eyes on the 2022 MRS Championship, and Jacob wanted to add more tour-type events to his calendar, and chose to race in some NASCAR Tour races and open shows. After the opener for the MRS season at Loudon came and went, he managed to get a top 10. But once the smaller tracks came up on the schedule, Perry showed off his speed. At Wiscasset, he managed to finish 3rd without any power steering. But when the Oxford 250 weekend came up, he was ready to get back in victory lane. He came close last year, but this time it was his time to shine, and after starting way back in 13th, he conserved his tires and carefully moved through the field. And on the restart with 20 laps to go, he took the lead on the outside lane and had to hold off one of the best teams in series history, Gary Casella's 25 team. He survived a few bumps from Matt Swanson in the 25 and captured the win. After the win, he was starting to make a big dent in the gap between himself and the points leader Kirk Alexander, and with a 5th at the Star Speedway event. He would go into the finale at the Thompson World Series only behind by 12 points. After his heat race, Perry said, "I was walking around with my head low. I thought I was going to puke. I was all nervous." When the green flag on the finale flew, a third of the field would consist of standouts from the NASCAR Tour and the SK Modifieds, but Jacob would start inside the top 10 and settle around that area for most of the night. While the leaders were way out in front, Perry was only racing the 76 car of Alexander. While his father's number was 76, this race was the only time he wanted that number to be as far down the scoring pylon as possible, and that's what happened. Alexander eventually went a lap down while Jacob cruised and finished in 11th, capturing the 2022 Modified Racing Series crown by a slim 8 points. He was a champion in Tour-type Modifieds at last, and had to beat one of the series' all-time greats to do it. Perry celebrated with a big donut and jumped on the roof in victory lane saying, "The emotion is indescribable. It's been a dream of mine to be a modified champion." This season was a comeback story. We started off with 2 really bad races, and then we were able to just keep chugging along and closing the deal. I had no idea what the points were until last week. And I'm just super grateful for the opportunity from Jack Bateman. During the winter of 2023, Jacob was invited to test an ARCA car at the World Center of Racing, the Daytona International Speedway, for Jeff McClure. Of the total 64 drivers that were allowed to test, he was 9th fastest. Unfortunately, the funding struggle stopped him from being able to give Daytona a try for the season opener. But for the 2023 season, he set his eyes on repeating as the 2023 Modified Racing Series champion with Jack Bateman, but came up short and finished in 3rd. Over the next 2 seasons, Jacob would field his own modified and join in a small partnership with Simpson Racing Products. He came close to winning a couple open modified events at Thompson and Stafford against some of the most heavily financed teams and proved his car has speed. My first interaction with Jacob was at Thompson in 2025, and it is a story I will never forget. It was just him and his father as the only crew members in the garage, and he told me that the tires that were on the car when they unloaded were going to be the same tires that they were going to practice and race on. I wish I went to the ATM to pay for one tire because he ended up finishing third at Thompson with old rubber. While other teams have the luxury of multiple crew members with a bunch of money to spend, the little teams like Jacob just need a few people to pitch in or have a big sponsor sign on, and they could be contenders at some of these events. As his 2025 racing season was coming to a close, he was able to score a win on both asphalt and dirt. On the asphalt side, he won on his sponsor's home turf at Claremont in the season finale for the Modified Racing Series. He ended the season with no finish worse than 8th in the 7 races he competed in. Reflecting on the win, he said, "We wouldn't be here without our sponsor Maurice Enterprises. I had to borrow a carburetor as well, and this is our first win in our family car." On the dirt side, he raced in a midget at the flat track at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. He won the Extreme Dirt Midget Association feature in the dirt duels. He had to pass the reigning champion of the series to get the win. He used the outside lane to take the lead with 17 laps remaining. When the dust settled in victory lane, he said, "I grew up on the mini-mile running the bandoleros down in turn 1 and 2. So this is pretty damn cool. This is our first Dirt Midget win in our 7th or 8th start. It's pretty damn cool to do it in front of the home crowd here at Loudon while being able to rip the top." Today, Jacob Perry has become a very versatile racer. At age 25, the racing world might think he's trending towards the older age group, but with the recent success in winning under any discipline of racing with one of the most underfunded operations, he's still in his first act. You wonder how great things could be if he could just get a decent amount of funding for his teams. When not driving on house money, he's proven he can win a championship. From asphalt to dirt, mini stocks to tour-type modifieds and dirt midgets, Jacob Perry is one of the most underrated drivers in racing, and hopefully his potential will be seen by a wealthy team, willing to lend a hand to a champion. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, here are some more videos to help scratch that itch for tour-type modifieds.